You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 1st of August, 2025. It is 42 days after the summer solstice. It is 52 days before the fall equinox. By the traditional English church calendar, today is Lammas Day. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 14th day of Thermidor, the day of the Basilique of Basil. The sun rises today at 5:53 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:02 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:11 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 8:42 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:19 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 2 seconds shorter than yesterday. Today, the moon reaches its first quarter at 8:41 a.m. The moon reaches its monthly apogee at 4:37 p.m. The full moon will arrive on Saturday, the 9th of August. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 4:08 a.m., 1 meter 22. In the morning, low tide, 10:16 a.m., 27 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:32 p.m., 1 meter 43. At night, low tide, 11 p.m., 24 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, yesterday we noted how the microclimates of the neighborhood reflect different degrees of resiliency in the face of the recent heat wave. How else does the cityscape create so many varied habitats for plants, animals, and people? Dense buildings can create dead zones of concrete in the center of blocks, where no good light filters down. But there are also the conjoined backyards in the center of many blocks, where trees and other plantings create a hospitable place for creatures to thrive. And a south-facing wall, lit by the sun, can provide a haven for delicate perennials like fig trees and rosemary plants to survive the winter. In many nooks and crannies of the neighborhood, walls and courtyards provide shelter from cold winter blasts. How many microclimates can you find on your block? Commemorations. The end of the pharaohs. On this day in 30 BCE, the Roman general Octavian entered Alexandria, Egypt, deposing Cleopatra, the last ruler of ancient Egypt. It would henceforth be a province of the Roman Empire. Octavian, of course, later took the name Augustus when he became the first Roman emperor. On this day in 1834, slavery was abolished in the British Empire, as the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 came into force. One hole in the law was that it did not affect slavery under the East India Company, which would finally be dealt with by the India Slavery Act, 1843. On this day in 1981, MTV began broadcasting. Its first video was Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles, a clever and self-referential way of introducing itself to the public. The new video-based format of the station radically altered American culture, combining music with striking visuals and a new kind of storytelling. It is easy to see how this laid the foundations for the internet culture in which we now live. Appropriately, we honor two musicians' birthdays today. On this day in 1942, Jerry Garcia was born. The lead guitarist and a vocalist for the Grateful Dead, he was a defining figure of 1960s counterculture. Today we wish a happy birthday to Chuck D., born on this day in 1960. The American rapper and songwriter is best known as the leader and frontman of the hip-hop group Public Enemy, which he co-founded in 1985. He helped create politically and socially conscious hip-hop music. Happy birthday, Chuck D. Today, in honor of the abolition of slavery in the British Empire, it is Emancipation Day in Barbados, Bermuda, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago. Finally, we honor Lammas Day today, a festival across much of Northern Europe that goes by many names. It marks the approach of the halfway point between the solstice and the equinox, and the beginning of the late summer and autumn harvests. Its English name comes from Loaf Mass, a day when the first loaves from the new wheat were presented in church as a harvest thanksgiving. But it is also honored as the Gaelic harvest festival, Lunasa. In some places it is celebrated on a Sunday and called Garland Sunday and Bilberry Sunday. Happy Lammas Day to all who celebrate it under any name. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 1st of August, 2025.